What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, since Barrow finally brought a mod drop chance booster, I thought I'd just release a new Steel Path Void Cascade load I've been using recently. It's been really effective and powerful, and I definitely think that you guys should be checking it out. Speaking of checking stuff out, let's go over the sponsor of today's video. Let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, BuildBox. BuildBox is game development software that requires no previous coding or design experiences. Several of the top 100 games on the App Store were made in BuildBox, and with BuildBox, you can easily build, preview, and publish a huge variety of games, such as puzzle, arcade, card games, shooters, and more, while also making money from your creations. BuildBox makes it really easy to get into creating your own games. The Game Wizard feature can help jumpstart the creative process by simplifying the first couple of steps. Then review the template and asset library to generate your game. The asset library contains preset animations and logic to help bring your games to life. There's even an in-game shop that's regularly updated with both free and premium assets, ranging from 2D, 3D, and UI elements. BuildBox also has 3 different versions to suit your needs. The easiest version is BuildBox Classic, which allows 2D games. But there's also BuildBox 3, which allows 2D and 3D games. Subscribing to BuildBox Pro or Plus lets you publish your app to the App Store or the Play Store and start easily generating extra money. Check out my link in the description to download BuildBox and start making your own games without any coding experience today. Thank you so much to BuildBox for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so this loadout is going to be for Steel Path Void Cascade. A reminder of what Steel Path Void Cascade is going to be asking of you. You're going to be fighting some really tanky Steel Path Thrax. These guys require operator void damage to kill, and they also require normal weapon damage to kill. Additionally, you will be fighting against acolytes as well, so if you don't have an acolyte slaying weapon, you're going to be probably in a not good situation. Now, thankfully, we're not actually even using an Acolyte slaying weapon today. Revenant's mind control ability will work on the Acolyte and will do % health damage. It won't one-shot them like every other enemy you'd be one-shotting with Revenant, but yeah, he's actually pretty good against Acolytes, even though we're not modding for killing them currently. So the idea of this, and the reason this mission is so good, is because these Thrax enemies that protect these Exilizers on the Zariman ship, they have a chance to drop Arcanes. On the Steel Path, with a mod drop chance booster, it's going to be about a 20% drop chance per Thrax kill. It might be a little bit lower than that, but roughly around that. So that's going to be the idea of this. Killing the Thrax in one shot. The weapon choice today will be the Quellor, which is going to be a... We'll go over what it is. It's basically a full auto rifle from Railjack, and it's got a secondary shot with basically an Archiplasmor blast. But the funny thing about this Archiplasmor blast is that this actually has a headshot multiplier. Unlike things like the Archiplasmor, the Fulman primary shot, things like that. This has a headshot multiplier. So we'll be utilizing that today to do big damage and one-shot really high-level Steel Path enemies. Even taking it further, we're actually using a weapon-focused Revenant setup here with Tharros Strike from Styanax. And that's going to be one of the best armor removal skills in the game. It's also going to work on shields too. It works on Acolytes and it works on Thrax. So that's the idea. Basically, we're the big damage Doom machine running through the mission. And we're going to show how this works really quick in the simulacrum. Then we're going to show all the mods and builds you can use to get this to go. And the amp stuff, too. The amp I'm using is going to be melting Thrax enemies near instantly. So this Quellor is going to be having a primary shot. It's like a laser rifle. And the alt-fire shot is a Plasmor shot, like I said, with a headshot multiplier. It's got terrible reload speed, but we're actually using special mods to reload it really fast. So the idea of this playstyle... Make sure you got Mesmer Skin active. Go up to the enemy you want to destroy. Viral proc him a couple times. Tharros Strike if you feel like it, and then go for a headshot. 20 million on an XL Gokstad. Now there's also a guarantee, or a near guaranteed slash proc after that as well. So we're using holster amp, so every time we swap back and forth, we're getting a damage increase. And that's going to be the whole thing here. Now the headshot hitbox on this can be a little bit wonky, and you will definitely know when it's not a headshot. When it's not a headshot, you'll be, instead of a 16 million, you'll be getting like a 300k. So that probably wasn't a headshot on that guy right there. Going over what we're using here as far as builds, we're going to start with Revenant. We're going to move our way down, okay? So like I said, we are using Tharros Strike from Styanax. So good luck getting a second Styanax. I honestly just recommend you buy him from the market for like 175 plat, wherever he costs, because grinding him out from Call's Garrison takes way too long. So... yeah, you need at least 200% strength for a full armor and shield strip, but one of the problems with Tharros Strike is it actually is going to be modded. You're going to need some range, too. Those shields do not go away very far. With this build, we got about a 14-meter range on the shields, we're trying to like squeeze out like almost every little point of range we can on here. So as far as the other mods, we're using, like I said, Holster Amp. This is a very like weapon swap playstyle. You are going to Condition Overload proc the enemy with your secondary. Then you're going to swap back to the Quellor. And then within 3 seconds, you need to get that Quellor alt fire shot off. That's why we'll be modding for some fire rate on the Quellor to get it out really quickly. This will also technically work on your melee too if you want to go for like a Glaive Prime, or if you just want to like do a melee focus playstyle. Just remember, you need the CO proc, then switch back for some increased damage for a couple seconds. But as far as range mods, we've got Stretch, and we've also got Cunning Drift. So that's going to mean we're getting some amount of range, not as much as you would like, but it's good enough. Now, we have no Archon Shards in here, but Archon Shards can make the build a little bit better, too. As far as things I would use Archon Shards for, maybe, you know, need some casting speed. We can put on some more range in this. If you had some yellow Archon Shards, or Amber, whatever they're called, you can just put on Augur Reach right there. Then your Tharros strike will be 16, almost 17 meters. That's going to be a little bit more comfortable. But as far as right now, we're going to stick with this. Streamline, just so we never run out of energy. And yeah, we have about 15 Mesmer skin stacks, which is a nice comfy number. It's about 15 seconds of just being completely lazy. And as far as Arcanes, we've got Arcane Energize, so we get tons of energy back when we pick up an orb. And we've got Arcane Acceleration, since we're using our primary for DPS. On crit hit, increase fire rate for primaries, excluding shotguns for 9 seconds. The Quellor has lots and lots of quality of life annoying issues. We just look at the base stats right here. We've got a massive magazine of, where's the magazine? 300 round magazine, dang. But it's got a 4-second reload. The fire rate is 6. And the alt fire shot, I think, shoots like 75 bullets per hit. So you get about 4 alt fire shots per. It's also got base cold damage, so if you do a Toxin mod, it will make viral, and we are actually utilizing viral on this setup because when enemies have their armor removed, viral damage multiplier it's really good. Like you'll be getting a big damage number if your enemy is armor stripped using viral damage. The alt fire shot also has base cold, so the whole viral situation will work there too. And you know, it's got a lot of problems, actually. We're going to show what mods we're rocking here. I'm also going to show you it with a Riven, which we currently do have equipped. If you don't have a Riven, just put a Toxin mod in this slot. That's the entire reason I have this Riven is for Toxin. But yeah, going over what the Quellor does. We've got a weapon that, like I said, I'm modding it for viral, and it's got a forced impact proc on that Archiplasmor shot I was telling you about. So that forced impact proc is great for not Hunter Munitions, for internal bleeding. If you don't know what internal bleeding is, but you do know what Hunter Munitions is, they're very similar mods. Hunter Munitions is on any crit, and Internal Bleeding is on a impact proc. A weapon with a forced impact proc will be technically more consistent than Hunter Munitions in this regard. So, like I said, we want to get that fire rate out so we can blast the shot out really quickly. Prime Shred will be nice for dealing with multiple enemies on the primary shot. The secondary shot has infinite body punch through, so it's not going to be helping you much there, but there's certain situations where it might actually still be good. Now, you might be like, why are you not running critical delay here? This thing has such bad fire rate, I couldn't bring myself to run critical delay. We would be getting a little bit more crit chance. Now this thing, I'm going to take off my crit chance Riven just to show you guys what these stats are like without this. So, the secondary shot has exactly 100% crit chance with point strike. If we were to run critical delay, it'd be like another like 12% crit chance, but the fire rate goes down by a lot. So unless you're running exactly what I'm running with like a fire rate arcane and stuff like that, and even prime shred, is 20% more crit chance on the alt fire shot going to really be worth it to you? I didn't think it was worth it to me, so that's what I'm currently rocking, is more fire rate but a little bit less crit chance. Having a crit chance probably helps a little bit too, but that's going to be up to you guys. If I was to run a critical delay on here, I'd be at 190% crit chance, which I don't really find very different. Okay, so since we have such a bad reload speed, I've gone with tactical reload. Once you've holstered your weapon, it will automatically reload per second. Now, you know what's funny? Even with all these Forma on here, I have every slot polarized. You cannot fit a full build on here. Isn't that kind of crazy? If you want to fit all these mods on here with the Riven, you are incapable of fitting on a maxed out Exilus mod. Thankfully, it's 15% still per second, but it's a little bit annoying that I can't fit on all the stuff I want here. So we got 2 Galvanized mods. Galvanized Aptitude's really good on this thing. I'm just going to leave it at that. And Galvanized Chamber gives you a bunch of multi-shot. Since this thing already has a good headshot multiplier, we're going to throw on Primary Deadhead for even more headshot damage. And yeah, just big damage. You'll be seeing multi-million quite regularly with this thing. And like I said, if you don't have a Toxin Riven, just put whatever Toxin mod you got there. Malignant Force will work. A little bit weaker, actually a lot weaker, but I'd recommend you get a Riven, honestly. Okay, and then we've got the Epitaph, which is going to be our CO procer of choice. So whatever you want to mod on here, like viral heat, I've got that on here. We're modding for viral on our weapon too, so it's like kind of like whatever. And this is just so enemies don't hear you when I'm playing Ash. Whatever Exilus is going to be fine there. Like usually I'll put on projectile flight speed if you can fit that on. But yeah, the idea here is just get viral and heat on the enemy, a little bit of status duration to make it so the procs last longer. Then you switch to your Quellor and blast them away. The melee of choice I was running was the Nami Skyla Prime, just because I like the Nami Skyla Prime. But, you know, it's really up to you. I was also going for viral on here, too. You might be like, why are you not running slash build? It kind of is a slash build, but it also has viral. Because these enemies are all going to be armor stripped, this does good damage, but this will definitely fall off. This build fell off around level, like, 1,000. So I wouldn't recommend it for that kind of play, but it still technically can get the job done. We're not running Naramon, so let's get some more gameplay on the screen while we talk about some of the other stuff. We're not running Naramon because I want to be able to kill these Thrax. We're doing about a couple million damage to their head with our Operator Amp, so that's going to be definitely very helpful from Madarai. So as far as the amp and all that, I actually can't show you the stuff in the Simulacrum, so we're gonna go back to the ship to show you. But the idea of it is the 177 amp. It's the one I showed, I think, a long time ago. And it's going to be Replock Prism, Certus Brace, and Propa Scaffold. That's going to be the Sniper Shot and the Exploding Propa Shot. And the max crit chance that's possible in this game. As far as amp arcanes, we're going to be using some of the new ones as well. A lot of this new stuff is just good. It's like they want you to try it out or something. So as far as the operator stuff, here we are in the ship right now. Let's just quickly show this Thrax doing one shot. This is the idea of the build. Now, their headshot hitbox is a little bit weird. Like, that was like a 3.7 million. This is what you're expecting with this build. Multi-million damage on both the operator and on your frame. So really cool stuff there. And of course, you can always remember that Revenant can one-shot most enemies with the Mind Control Reeve combo. Okay, so as far as the amp for Steel Path Void Cascade, I have the 177, like I said, which is going to be Replock, Propa, and Certus. And as far as arcanes, I've got Magus Lockdown. This will help you stun the Thrax in their ghost form, so you can, like, you know, easily headshot them. Going for headshots is pretty helpful for those big damage numbers. This comes from Little Duck on Fortuna. And we've got Magus Repair. This is not really necessary for this playstyle at all. If you wanted to go for even more damage, you go for Magus Melt. On Void Sling, increased heat damage on Operator mode for 30%, and it stacks with 7 times. I've got this on here, Repair. I was playing Revenant, so I wasn't even taking health damage, so not exactly min-max in that regard in this slot. But, you know, Magus Repair is pretty comfy, so whatever you think is going to be more useful to you here. I already told you Magus Melt's probably the meta one for killing those Thrax easily, but we're killing Thrax easily as well. We're killing them in about a 10 million damage headshot. The important things here are the amp arcanes. So we've got Eternal Onslaught. On energy depletion, 180% increased critical chance for 8 seconds. Now you can use Void Strike to do this, or you can use the second ability for Madarai called Contamination Wave. Spam it like 4 or 5 times, that's your entire energy pool gone. You can do multi-million damage without Void Strike. If you saw me killing that Thrax in that previous clip, that was without Void Strike active. I technically could have pushed Void Strike, but I did not use it. So a big, strong one right here, Eternal Onslaught. Also got Eternal Eradicate. Since we're using a Contamination Wave from Madarai, every time we cast an Operator ability, increase damage for amps for 8 seconds. These together is how you're going to get 10 million damage on these Thrax guys with no Void Strike, okay? So that's going to be it for the Operator stuff. And as far as Madarai is concerned, just max it out. There's no reason not to max out Madarai. Get every node now. The biggest ones are Void Strike, Contamination Wave, and actually just get everything. Seriously, just get everything. If you don't get everything, you're missing out. You're missing out. Madarai is probably the best operator school. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments. Do you think that Madarai is the best operator school? I feel like there's no real contest. I mean, Zenerik is kind of nice. Vazarin was nice. Vazarin is still good, but I don't find it as useful as it used to be. So yeah, overall, this is a really good way to do this. Go to Steel Path Void Cascade, farm these guys. Look at that low number right there. The headshot hitbox of this Thrax, it's not very cooperative sometimes. There we go. It looks like it actually worked that time, and the Thrax is dead. But yeah, you're getting these arcanes from here. You're getting about like 60 arcanes in an hour, I think it was, with a booster if you're killing Thrax really quickly. And you'll actually hit level 10,000 in about an hour and a half if you're killing these guys really, really quickly. This build will hold up for level 10,000, but the Nami Skyla build definitely won't hold up for level 10,000. So maybe think about switching that out. All right, guys, hope you found this video helpful. The loadout has been really... Now, here's the thing. Okay, it's been strong But Revenant kind of makes the game a little bit boring. He's like too good. He's too good, man. Like, there was a time I was just trying to die on purpose. I'm like, okay, like, let's see if these guys can kill me. I had to like seriously stand in front of a bunch of Steel Path enemies for like a good 20 seconds for them to even break my Mesmer skin. Which is kind of nuts, but yeah, it's like a weapon-focused Revenant playstyle, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Go ahead and check out my link in the description for Build Box. Try out your new game without any coding experience, and take it easy. Peace.